I'm Alan Trickett from Rotherham.
I'm Tim Jones from Sheffield.
Roy Millington from Sheffield.
Basically, everybody knows what we're trying to do, trying to get back what was stolen from us over 2 years ago, with us train passes and us 9 o'clock start on buses. Now we understand that the new franchise that's took over the trains from Northern Rail, we was hoping for bigger things because of the new people taking over. Turns out exactly the opposite. Not only will they not do anything for us, but they're trying to stop their own people using, their own retirees, using their passes. And so we've been asked to go to Manchester to one of their rallies, and because they've been so good to us, right from day one of our campaign, we feel obliged to go and show our peasants and try and help those.
Yeah, it's actually ASLEF what's called this demonstration in Manchester later today. Tosh McDonald, the General President of ASLEF, has been rather supportive, both financially and also when two Freedom Riders pensioners were arrested at Midland Station and they were facing court proceedings. The Crown prosecution on the 8th of November actually dismissed the actual proceedings due to the fact, the child abuse scandal late in Rotherham. And obviously, when in that situation, it weren't the best interest. Well, we did a victory march down to Midland Station, and we did a freedom ride to Meadow Hall, and we were unchallenged by the Transport Police, because it was actually the Transport Police what instigated this, because they're financed by the railway companies. It were all premeditated. This, they brought him in from Liverpool Transport Police, as they didn't have enough in South Yorkshire. And basically, for the last 18 months, we've had this campaign since they were withdrawn. It was given back for the disabled under discrimination. Our argument is that if you are disabled and you suddenly become a pensioner, are you less disabled? Well, no, you're more disabled because of your age as well, you see. And if you've got a condition what does not actually alter, it can just gradually get worse. So we're challenging it on them grounds. And also there's a real medical issue here, because if you live in Barnsley, Kendra is only a small hospital. If you need specialist art surgery or specialists in that area, you have to go to usually you have to go to St James's, which is in Leeds, which is West Yorkshire. At present, pensioners can't go to West Yorkshire free of charge. Likewise, if you have like we had a visually impaired lady in the early stages of the Freedom Ride, what was actually brutal, she was knocked over in the scurry down at Midland Station on the 23rd of June. A couple of years ago, she asked to go to Elmshire Hospital, Royal Elmshire Hospital in Sheffield from Barnsley for eye treatment, and we think this is deeply unfair.
Can I ask you why you're going to Manchester today?
Freedom Riders, Barnsley Freedom Riders, and they've been going on for 2 years and 3 months, and they won't give up the fight until these concessions have been reinstated. And I joined them in the second Freedom Ride, and I heard the speeches, and the Barnsley pensioners are the salt of the earth, and that includes pensioners throughout Britain. They fought for these rights, and they're entitled to them for what they did after the war, and they built this country up. The car workers and the miners were needed after the war for export of cars, and they worked like Trojans to bring this country back together. And any people that's against these concessions for old people, they want to realise what people did after the war. And national servicemen. I served national service for 2 years, and we've had no payback, and we want to pay back. So I'm hoping today that this protest, I'll bring some results from, is it Arriva?
Arriva, yeah.
Arriva. I mean, to what Sheffield is now, they don't realise what Sheffield was after the Blitz and how long it took to recover from the Blitz. So I hope people realise, that's as much as I want to say, and people in Barnsley that started this off, they're the salt of the earth.
And the other thing, of course, we're trying to stop this postcard lottery. Again, when they stole our concessions, the big point they was making, all the councils in South Yorkshire, was that us in South Yorkshire had to buckle down the same as the rest of the country, which was a total pack of lies, of course, because it is a postcard lottery. If you live in London, Liverpool, Manchester, where we're going, Birmingham, they all have much better concessions than South Yorkshire people do. And as you've just been listening, South Yorkshire people have worked hard all their lives, majority from age of 15, in working jobs, not in easy jobs, and if they don't deserve to be able to travel on local trains, we're not talking big trains, only local trains, to get to our capital city, which is York. The only way you can get there is by train. You can't get there by bus. And to say that we can't even use buses until 9:30, when buses are running empty from 9 o'clock, just does not seem fair. So that's what we're trying to put over today.
Why are you going to Manchester today?
To support Tosh, because they're stopping the people who's retired, old age pensioners who used to work on Northern. They told them that they can't use free train travel, which is wrong. I mean, we've got half price just in South Yorkshire. Disabled have got full bike all in South and to West, but so we're still fighting for ours. And there's that many campaigns what we're fighting on. We've been in talks with First to try and get the early hospital appointments. They've turned us down with that. They come up with an excuse, well, it'll take drivers too long to read letter, which is just a load of nonsense. But obviously Stagecoach are doing it, so we're still going to try and fight First, because they're one of the biggest companies, especially in Sheffield. Yeah, so we're supporting Tosh, and want to go down there and support him. He's done a lot for us, Freedom Riders, so it's only right that we go down and help him.
What for you do you hope is going to happen today?
Well, I'm hoping that they're going to get, the free train travel back. That's the whole point of today. So yeah, we want it back.
Basically, embarrass them into, if you can do that, into reinstating these free concessions. And also, as Phil said, Tosh has been very supportive. He's your General Secretary of the ASLEF union, which is a drivers' union, and obviously the support from RMT, and which is obviously the RMT union of the guards, the dispatchers of tickets on trains, which they want to get rid of and have driver-only trains. So it's a bigger campaign than that, and we're supporting ASLEF, and we're also supporting RMT, because we feel like it's dangerous having just driver-only trains. With Northern Rail at present, because they've had these Pacer trains which were made in the 1980s by British Leyland and they're manually operated, they have actually kept conductors on trains, and that's why they're going for turnstiles in many stations. They can't in Sheffield because it's an historic bridge, and obviously when they built the station in the 19th century, the bridge were part of the architecture. They wanted to remove that bridge, and we did a campaign, obviously under the heritage, of the station and the antiquity of it. We argued the fact to keep this bridge, and that's why there's no turnstiles like there is in Leeds, where you check your tickets. But it brings in another question. People who are rushing for work in the morning don't always have time to queue up and purchase a ticket, and then what they do, if they'll charge them extra what few conductors are left. When in fact there ain't enough staff, resource staff at these counters. So it brings another issue into it. So when you start with one issue, it brings a multitude of issues, and we want to address all the issues.